Miss Belt is a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that make her great. One of my favorite things we do, we go in depth about what we're learning about. So at the start, we'll take notes, and then we'll look at like diagrams and things like that. We'll watch videos, maybe even do a lab on it. Other students have said that they are prepared in their other science classes because of the level of material that we are doing.
My favorite lesson with Miss Belt is when we were doing mixtures, that we had these different tubes, and we were doing we were pouring in different ingredients into each tube, and we were watching each reaction to each different ingredient, different mixture. And I loved each different reaction. One reaction was that we poured a certain kind of ingredient with another ingredient, and it puffed up, it started expanding, and just started oozing out of the tube. I just loved it. She treats you like an educated student, not tries to lower you down. She brings you up, and I love that about her.
She's always explaining things if you don't understand it. I'm not gonna say dumb down, but she explains in the way I understand, like sports, she would refer to sports, and she just is a really good teacher. I came to this school in 6th grade, and she made me feel like I was there for like my whole life, because she didn't exclude me from anything. She always made me like feel important. Because Miss Belt, I feel like I have like a closer connection with her than all the other teachers.
Miss Belt is a super fun teacher. She connects with the kids, and she's my favorite teacher by far. Whenever I struggled, I feel like I can always ask her, and she'll give a detailed answer that would really help me. She always gives us like study guides, and like her notes are very informative. So if you are confused, you can just go back in your notes and it'll tell you everything.
Miss Belt deserves to be Teacher of the Year because she's always lit. She's always fun. We always are making jokes in class, but whenever it's time to crack down, she's always like, okay, it's time to crack down, get to work.
Miss Belt deserves to be Teacher of the Year because she makes education fun. She provides a student-centered environment, and she does such great activities with us that makes me want to learn more.
Just the one thing that you hear every year when you go into AP Spanish, which is, it's an intense class. You're expected to know the language going into the class. So the one thing that everybody is always asked of the kids before, how can I get a good grade in Spanish? How can I get a 5 on the exam? And the thing they say is, just do whatever Senora tells you. You're gonna get the grade, you're gonna get the score. She sets you up for success. When you think of a teacher, you just think of, someone you come into class, they give you your assignments, they just take you through the day so that you can succeed. But I think Senora just goes beyond the basic assignments, tests, just getting through school. Like she puts her students before herself, and she does it I'd say an extreme case compared to other teachers that I've had.
She's definitely more relatable on a personal level, and she's just always making jokes. Like I'll walk into class and she'll notice that I'm not as active, or I'm not as giggling as usual or laughing, and she'll just make jokes about things that she knows that will make me smile.
The biggest lesson I've learned is just how to treat people, because she just goes above and beyond, like we keep saying. For example, we have a lot of assemblies here with guest speakers, and we'll come into class and she'll be like, okay, put your books away, we're gonna talk about this. And she just makes it such a point to really show us how important it is to treat others the way you wanna be treated, and just really about those speakers and their points. She cares more about us as people than Spanish, and I think that's what's important. She deserves to be Teacher of the Year because she's just an amazing teacher. She deserves this award more than anyone I can ever think of. Just the lessons she teaches her students, and the way that she puts us above herself every single day.
Senora Smith is a great teacher because, she creates a personal relationship with every one of her students. She has the ability to know each individual student and cater a learning experience to them.
She always goes above and beyond for her students. I'm not only in Calc right now, but I had comp sci last year, like I said, and I'm also a math aide, so I spend a lot of time in close proximity to her. And I've never seen her slack in any way, shape, or form for her students. She has never once slacked when trying to explain something to me. Even if I don't understand it, she'll sit down, she'll make sure I understand everything perfectly before she moves on. And she does that with all of her students. Her ability to make you feel welcome in a classroom and know that she's not going to let you leave until you understand everything that you have to is so comforting to any student that I've seen her have.
She doesn't just teach you. She teaches you in a way that makes you feel that you have learned everything in the world in such a small time.
She always has a great sense of humor. Any mood that I'm in, she can always brighten my day, especially with her ways of teaching. She likes to teach in very fun, different ways, or getting all the classmates to work together in group situations.
I think she deserves to be Teacher of the Year because of her effort, her personality. I think she's honestly one of the best teachers that I've ever really had in my years of going to school in the first place. And I think a lot of people can agree with that because of the way that she just conducts her classes and the way that she tells you how to do things.
Miss Atwood deserves to be Teacher of the Year because she really puts in a lot of time and effort to make sure that students learn everything that they need to learn. If they need help with something, she's always happy and willing to help them. And overall, she's just very thorough and a wonderful teacher to have.
Miss B's class is fun because when we go there and when we have to do boring stuff like math, she makes it fun with games and we still learn. And sometimes she tells jokes in the middle of class.
I learned from Miss B is to try hard and never give up.
Every day when we go in for class, we either do multiplication or division, and she'll say something that happened during the weekends, but she'll put it in math. So she talks about her dog, and she'll say my dog has this many treats. If I put it into this many groups, how many treats will it have? And she makes it really fun.
Miss B makes me smile because she does math in a funny way, because math's usually very, very boring, and she makes it very funny.
What Miss B helped me with was with math, and with that multiplication, she always had these songs that would help us with multiplication answers, and they always stuck with me. So if I'm trying to get an answer for a multiplication problem, I would think of the song and I would get it. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and 27, 30, 33. What makes Miss B so awesome is she's always helpful with that to everybody. She always helps somebody if they need something, and she always makes everybody laugh, and she's so nice. I think she deserves to be Teacher of the Year because she's always been a great teacher. She's always helped everybody out, and she's always make everybody laugh. And she deserves to be Teacher of the Year because she's just the best teacher.
He listens to what you have to say, and he answers very clearly. And I wanted to do more partner work, so I told him that, and now we're doing a lot more partner work, and and he places you next to your friends, so it's never really boring in his class.
One of my favorite lessons with Mr. Britton was Sparta and Athens, because he made it very interesting to tell us about how the Athens and the Spartans' lifestyle compared to one another, and I thought that was really interesting.
He just makes it real fun. He makes jokes about what we're learning about. He does a lot of hands-on activities that sometimes are funny. He brings in stuff to dress us up in. I remember in the beginning he did talk a lot about this is a new change, or he almost gave us comforting words I'll be able to help you with anything, or if we missed a paper, he'll make time for you in his day. He'll come to school early for you, and stuff like that. He's shaped a lot of people to be the better person in his classroom, and whether it's just his classroom alone, it's still, you can see the respect that people give him.
I think Mr. Britton deserves to be Teacher of the Year because he's very enthusiastic and helpful, and he'll always help you when you need it. And he always makes lessons fun and entertaining. You can never be bored in his class.
Mr. Britton deserves to be Teacher of the Year because he's very chill, does not get mad that easily, he respects you, and he helps you through all sorts of problems like that.
He deserves to be Teacher of the Year because he's a really good person and he's really nice to the kids and he's not mean and nobody's like scared of him. So everybody doesn't really mind going to his class.
Miss Deaver always does like fun things, and when I'm always sad in the blues, she always tries and cheers me up, like we're putting me in like a fun group and planning fun activities.
I really like when we do jump rope for heart because I'm really good at doing the basic jump and it's helping somebody for a cause. If a student's struggling, Miss Deaver will comfort them and get her to tell them what's wrong so she can solve the problem. She always throws in little jokes and it always makes us laugh. She just has a happy spirit. I don't know what it is, it just brings happiness.
I'm excited to go to Miss Deaver's class because it's very enjoyable to go to because I like sports and we do different things all the time, and I try something new if I didn't do it yet.
Good job.
She has to teach everybody in the school. Don't know how many people there are, but there's a lot. And she runs some clubs like dance and ballet, which is really hard because there's littler kids and they don't always follow the rules.
I think she's a great teacher because she's really good at teaching us, like sports, soccer, tennis. She's an awesome teacher because she is always nice to us. She told me how to jump rope. She told me how to do yoga. She told me how to disco bowling. And that was really a lot of fun.
Miss Wilkinson makes me smile when she gets on with the lesson without having to stop for people who aren't paying any attention.
Miss Wilkinson helps a student when they're struggling by. She asks them what's wrong, and if she knows how to solve it, she'll help them solve it. And she'll keep on reminding us the same thing so we never forget it. Sometimes if she sees that we're working really hard, she'll let us go out onto the playground for a little bit. I like Miss Wilkinson because she is a really good teacher and she teaches me a lot, and she always makes things fun. The most important thing that I've learned that Miss Wilkinson taught me was probably showing, not telling, and writing books and how to write them.
I enjoyed having Miss Wilkinson because she was just really funny and really nice to me. And after park, sometimes she would give us she would have this shop with candy. We could get 2 pieces each, and it was just so much fun. Miss Wilkinson's biggest lesson that she taught me was probably the fraction, because we use a lot of fractions, adding and subtracting fractions a lot in 4th grade, so that helped me a lot.
Miss Wilkinson is awesome because she's always making these really funny jokes, and sometimes Miss Wilkinson, she'll do a little dance, for something she's pointing to the board, and then other times she'll let us just turn to our partners and speak if we have anything on our minds, so we're not just thinking about it till the next day. One time she was, we were learning about perimeter, and she was just singing along. She was singing a song about it, and then she said perimeter is like you, it's the outside. Ms. Wilkinson deserves to be Teacher of the Year because she works really hard to make us have fun, and she works hard for us to like school, to actually teach us in a fun way that we want to learn. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would vote her 10.